Hi, my name is Izharuddin, and today I'm going to be presenting the topic of the sixth sense technology. Before moving on to the topic, I'd like to share some information with you regarding things that we desire, things that we saw, which we thought were impossible. If you have seen the movie Iron Man, where he uses holograms to connect with different things, and he uses his hand gestures and poses, where he does where he works on things that is digitally processed by a hologram by an artificial intelligence system. That is true, and that is possible in the world that we live in today because we have far moved on from the 70s and 80s era where computers were as big as rooms where they made calculations on some small level. The world have evolved greatly, and science and the world of science and technology have evolved greatly because all those things that we thought were not possible are now possible, and people are working towards it. The sixth sense technology is developed in the MIT lab by a student, a PhD student, and what it does is that it uses hand gestures, which are used to digitally process some images through hand gestures, or it can be used to interact with the real world environment that we live in and help us calculate things or interact with objects. It is a wearable gesture control system. It can be in the form of glasses, it can be in the form of a watch, a small camera that can be used to display images, or that can be used to display certain things that you desire onto the things in the work environment. It just like computers from the 1970s were there to make calculations on level. Then we moved on to the era of 2000 where we saw computers and laptops and mobile phones. Now moving on to the era where we are making things possible, those things that we thought are impossible, and this is one of those things. It is initially in the first stage, but it can evolve. This technology consists of a mirror, of a camera, of a mirror, a pocket projector, and that is the reason it is a portable device. So how does this technology does what it does and helps us calculate, evolve, interact with things? How is that possible? It uses the hand gesture recognition, and hand gesture recognition uses the digital image processing, and some of the things that we are even studying now in computer sciences, or something that we are supposed to study in the higher level of computer sciences. What it does is that it interprets the physical data through hand gestures and the technical basic facial and emotional poses, and it calculates some of the mathematical algorithms that it computes. Those mathematical algorithms are just the ones, or just the things that I and that you have studied in computer sciences in university, in bachelor's, or even that we are studying at a higher level. Those mathematical algorithms consist of matrices, of geometry, of certain algebraic configurations that it uses, and it has very fast chipset. That's how these hand gestures are moved and noticed. So this technology, just like the 90s and the 70s, was an era where computers did not have graphical user interface and people had to code. So then came a time when GUI was introduced, and it made a lot of sense for people. but even though we human beings evolve, our needs evolve, our times evolve, and our characteristics evolve, and we tend to go towards things that can reduce the effort that we put in and the time that is affected. So this is an alternative to text user interface and the graphical user interface, and that means that now there is a time now that we use keyboard and mouse and some digital pictures that we use to interact with computers. This thing can cancel out all of that. Moving on to the topic of how this thing works, or how this thing advances and the work system. Uh, this specific device, since it monitors the physical data that we provide, which is either hand gestures, which is the emotional and the mental emotional, or the physical, the facial recognition that it provides. This device uses specific hand gestures and poses. So now that this technology have not been properly introduced, it's just a prototype. This can evolve. It can evolve more in the coming years, in 10 years, in 20 years. Something extraordinary can come out of this. This is something that you can see on Google, and you will find that this has some specific applications. But in 10 years from now, that will evolve on some other level. Um, the working of this device is quite a certain thing. Images, or images from the real world, the working environment, our surroundings, and the hand gestures that we provide, or the any sorts of physical input that we give, that is processed by this device through a camera, through a mirror, and that is calculated with the help of mathematical algorithms that is that this device is tasked with. And this is processed and sent to the chipset, to the server, where it's calculated and sends this information to the device, and lastly to us, where we get this output that we desire. This thing, as I said before, it's a prototype, so this thing can not be as effective at this moment, but it can evolve over the time. Advantages of this device are much. As I said before, there was a time in the 70s and 80s era where there were computers as big as rooms, and that calculated tasks, a small specific task such as the task of a calculator, that now we can find in each and every mobile phone. Though came a time of 2000 when we were introduced into the modern age of Apple, of MacBooks, and of Windows, and laptops and computers. And now it's this age. So we have gone from the age of computers that were as big as rooms to the age where we have small mobile phones that calculates and does everything from us. We don't even need laptops. And now is the time for this device, which is a portable. So one of the advantages of this device is that it's portable. It can come in the size of a shape, the shape of a camera, the shape of a watch, the shape of glasses. It is portable, and we can carry it on everywhere. The second is that it is cost effective. It can cost around $300 to $500 at this moment. As just like I said, it's a prototype, so it's being tested out by certain people, certain groups of people. So maybe in the future, when the things evolve and times change and the needs of people change, things can change, and maybe the cost can get more or less. But as of this moment, it is cost effective, related, or in contrast with other technologies that has been offered in the market. The applications of this device are quite good. It helps us with certain or more of some real life benefits that we need, that each and every person needs. Firstly, the mobile application that we use, that is the map, Google Maps. This thing helps us out. We can actually capture the picture of a map. This map application is used by this device, and we can display that map anywhere at any time with the help of this small device. We can use the hand gestures to see how and where to go at certain places, and this map application this device uses can be projected onto any object in our work environment, in our surroundings. The other is taking pictures. So we certainly go around occasions during our day where we come across objects, where we come across moments, come across some certain time where we see certain people or certain sceneries that we find amusing, and we take pictures. With the help of this device, it can be easy to capture pictures. We just have to use a specific pose, a specific hand gesture, and that can help us take a picture quite easily. Pictures that are taken as this, we make this gesture to take a picture when we are telling someone to, or signaling someone to take a picture. The same thing you can use to do this task. And the fact that it can interact with physical objects is one of the good thing about this thing. How and why? You see a newspaper, you can project anything onto a newspaper, just like in the movie Iron Man, where he projects certain hologram into the atmosphere, into the 3D dimension. This is what it does. It can project anything onto any object in the real world. And how is that? Any picture that we desire, anything that we desire, it can convert that and project that onto something that we want. Like, for example, a newspaper. It can take a picture of a newspaper and display certain things that we want. Or it can actually display the picture or display the image of a phone onto the image, onto the newspaper, or onto anything that we want. Be that a wall, be that a rock, be that anything. So before concluding, I would like to add in a few things. The fact that we as human beings have this natural phenomena, this natural need that we want more and more to come from science, from technology, from entertaining, from anything. And how we evolved in the 70 years is quite significant, and it's quite amazing. It's just one of those things that high aims and high ambitions can lead to high glory and high success. So this this technology might not be as significant as the other technologies, but this has proved one thing, that now everything is possible. If we can make it, we can do it. If we can make it, if we can think about it, we can do it. And this technology, this sixth sense technology, can help us in ways that we can't imagine. Not now, maybe in a few years we will know that we have time, we don't have time. We want certain tasks to be done at a certain time. We want time to be not affected by certain things. So this thing comes in where we can interact with the physical world, and we can display the digital information or the digital processing of a certain device with the physical world. And this is where this technology helps. I hope that the presentation helped you to think more about this technology and consider it, and how this thing is going to help us in the future. So I hope you got the most out of it. Thank you very much.